Okay, so a moment I would like to talk about is from a film called Whiplash, made in 2014 by Damien Chazelle. And the scene itself is the scene where the teacher, Terence Fletcher, hurls a chair at his student Andrew Neiman for messing up the tempo in his jazz group. So when you first watch it, your first reaction is like shock, because you think, oh wow, a teacher has thrown a chair at his student for messing up. That is completely unprofessional, completely wrong, completely unorthodox. And then he further humiliates him by making him shout that he's upset to the whole class, making him repeat the process several times for him to realise himself why he's messed it up. And you just feel horrible. You feel horrible for Andrew, but you also feel like you feel so angry towards Fletcher, because he's putting a student, people who he should be nurturing, through this pain in order to make his music, his show, be better, for lack of better words. So the first initial reaction is shock and horror, and then it's just, as the scene progresses and gets more and more humiliating, it's sadness, it's despair, and then it becomes a bit of desperation, because all you want is for Andrew to just get out of this now, and just put an end to Terence's nightmare, and just say, look, just get out of the room, just leave, just run away from it. But because of Andrew's mindset, he just keeps on thinking, no, I'm going to stay, and this is what I need to do to succeed, which is completely wrong. But it's just such a brilliant scene, because it's the setup to it. It's just in stark contrast to what happens. I mean, Terence pulls him aside at the start and says, look, just relax, enjoy yourself, have fun, this is what it's all about. And then after 11 attempts of him not getting it right, he loses his cool, and whether that's done on purpose or by accident, it's not made clear. I like to think it's done on purpose to try and break him, because at that point I find Fletcher's just breaking down the preconceived notions of students, and then that's when he starts to build them in his own mind, because Terence Fletcher's all about trying to find one student who can be his protege, and just be the next greatest musician ever. And it's such a brutal scene to watch. I can sometimes not watch it, just because the feeling of shock, anger, horror, and tension between the two of them, it's just insane, because it's just two minds coming together. It's psychological warfare. It's just two minds going like boom, boom, boom. And obviously Terence has the authority, the respect, the reputation, so he ends up knocking out Andrew first. And then by the end of the film, Andrew gains Terence's respect, and in essence becomes everything he ever hated. But just the feelings of just anger, shock, despair, terror, it's just, you really just want to protect Andrew. Like, he's a 19-year-old shy kid who just wants to do what he wants and pursue what he wants to pursue and achieve greatness. And it just goes to show you that maybe sometimes you need to take a few physical knocks and a few physical hits and psychological hits to get there. And so yeah, just the initial feelings of shock, anger, then go into terror, sadness and desperation by the end of it, and it's in stark contrast, and it changes the tone completely of the film, because you see what Terence Fletcher's like in full force, and you come to fear him because of that. So yeah, that's my moment.